Welcome in Fox 54. This is Turn Up the Volume here, where volume stands for Voices of Ladies United, Motivated, and Empowered. Every other week we bring in a guest, a woman that is doing amazing things in their respective field. And this week here we have a mental health professional that has joined us, Jessica Wiley. I'm going to bring you up on the screen here. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. We're excited to have you in this week. We want to talk a little bit, of course, about your profession, being in the mental health field, a licensed counselor, but also an author. And then also we know that this month here is Self-Care Awareness Month. Okay, so we're going to get on a lot of topics, but it's going to be a good conversation, okay? Yes. We said that you are a licensed health professional, a counselor here in the CSRA. What inspired you to become a counselor?
Well, my life.
Yeah.
So I've always been the person that everybody would come and talk to throughout school age, high school, college. Everybody would come and talk to me about everything, their problems. And so I always wanted to help people. I just didn't know what, in what realm. I wanted to be a lawyer, then I wanted to be a teacher. And I was like, can I debate people like that? I was like, probably not. So then I was like, you know what? People talk to me all the time. Why don't I just go into therapy? Therapy helped me when I was a child. I've been through a lot of trauma. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to help other people. Because, you know, it's better when you have a counselor that can be somewhat relatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to go in that field.
Yeah, and I know you said you spoke a little bit about trauma throughout your life, and I know you focus a lot on children and teens. So is that how you sort of said, I want to, focus more on that group? Is that where the trauma sort of for you took place and wanted to focus in there?
Yes. Yeah. The trauma focused in my childhood, teenage years. I mean, I had trauma as an adult, but I think we all do at some point.
Right. it's life.
Yes.
It's life.
Yes. I'm like, life has been life. But so I that's my main focus, but I do see adults. I see adults. I see older adults.
Right.
But mostly it's pediatric.
Yeah. So having those different, groups of people come in, how does that look between the two groups? Like being able to help them, how does that look between the two groups?
Well, with my kids, I have to be more, I would say, interactive. So I have to be very creative. Like we're playing, like if we're doing emotions and learning how to manage and regulate our emotions, I'm playing a game with them. I'm getting them to tell me their emotions, what those emotions look like. With the adults, we don't play games, but like,
we get down to business.
We talk about it. Like we get in more deep detail of things, and we because they're adults, so they understand. So I don't have to play those kind of like little games to get them warmed up and interactive into the sessions.
Yeah, with the kids, do you have to put on your Miss Rachel voice, or you just?
Now I put on my Jessica voice.
You put on your Jessica voice.
I like to laugh and get them laughing and get them comfortable, because I get a lot of kids that are like shy, and so I'm like, we're spending 2 sessions getting them to warm up to me, but that's okay. Yeah. So it's just, I love kids. So.
Right, that's really sweet. I think it was great that you were able to find a profession that sort of still connected back to your life. You said people came and you were the one that people talked to, and I know sometimes that can probably be difficult to bear other people's things when you were younger. Of course, now you do it as a profession, so you probably have techniques, but just back then, how was that? Everybody bringing in their things for you, but you also probably had some stuff.
I did.
And you did. You already said you did, so.
I don't know. I guess because I'm just in the nature of, I have a big heart, so I love helping other people, even if that means that my issues are put to the side, that it's okay because I'm helping someone else kind of get through it. And sometimes that actually helps me get through what I'm going through.
Right.
So,
yeah. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes hearing other people's stories, whether it's similar or different, can help you with your own. Like, oh, okay, now this is how I can help myself. I helped you, now I can help myself. So that's really good there. I wanted to speak on your book that you brought in. Show us that book. Awesome. Life
This is Life is Just Beginning, a memoir of what tried to break me and the woman I became instead.
Yes, tell us a little bit about that book and then how it, came apart.
So I actually, it's a fun story. I wrote in my communication class. We back in undergrad, we wrote a story, like it was a life story kind of thing. And so I wrote the first part of it, and I was like, "Ooh, I could turn this into a book." But I never did, and I just sat on it, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had enough life to write a book yet. So I just kept going and going, and then I went through my master's program and all that stuff. And so then I just kept sitting on the book, and I kept hearing the voice saying, make a book, write a book. And I'm like, no. And then one day a person approached me, and it was like, they're like, something said on me that I need to tell you, and they were like, you need to write your book that you've been sitting on. And I'm like, I don't even know you. And I was like, how did you know that?
Life is crazy.
Yes. So
wow.
I was like, okay. They're like, yeah. They're like, I'm an obedient person. I listen, and when something is given to me, I go give it to that person. I said, okay. And I was like, all right. I'm like, okay. And then I sat on it for a little bit, and then my life changed. It was turned upside down, and that was my moment where I really honed in and focused on writing the book.
Right.
So
you took a lot of that experience
yes.
and added to that story
yes.
that you wrote in undergrad
yes.
and then added more here, and that's how
yes.
that came about. Wow. Is this something that people can go find, and where can they go
on
find
Amazon.
it? On Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, y'all heard that there. Throughout the book, I'm assuming there's like lessons that people can also just
yes.
gravitate to and help them as well throughout.
Yeah, so you'll probably learn my whole life in here. But it's about trauma, how I got through the trauma, and kind of like what I leaned on to get through it, and just kind of like it's encouraging, because I have encouraging quotes in there, like, you can get through it, because a lot of people, when they get in the depressed mode, they feel like they're the only ones out there that's going through that issue. And so I really wanted to write this book to let them know, like, you're not alone, like somebody else has been through it as well. And if I can get through it, you guys can get through it too.
You can get through it too. Hey, well, there you have it, Jessica Wiley's book.
It's Life is Just Beginning, a memoir of what tried to break me and a woman I became instead.
Yes, that right there is a strong title. Get to know a little bit about her, but also get to navigate your life a little bit as well. And I think that book would also be a perfect item for people dealing with self-care as well, just learning a little more. And we spoke a little bit about this month being Self-Care Awareness Month. So in your practice and being a healthcare professional, how would you define self-care?
How do I define self-care? I tell everybody every time they come on, you got to do something for yourself.
You got to do something for yourself, That's pretty much what it is, though, when I look at it as well.
I take self-care as something that you can do every day to decompress. And whatever that is, it's important to take care of yourself. And that means taking, like, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I know life is busy. We have kids, or not. Just life is busy because of work.
Yeah.
But it's always important to have time for yourself, either that's going to the gym, doing Bible study, whatever it is that is for you, going for a walk, going to take yourself out to dinner or lunch, whatever works for you. I think it's very, very important. Getting your hair done, nails for women. Well, men too, because they get pedicures. So.
Oh yeah, they do. They get the braids and all too. So hey,
that is true. Yes. So just any little thing, just cut out some time for yourself every day. It's important. Yeah. Because we get burned out easily sometimes. So.
We do get burned out. As soon as you wake up in the morning, it's something that has to be done. And it's and until the time that you have to lay down, it's something else that has to be done. So self-care is very important. I think that a lot of times people think it has to be such a big thing that you have to do. But like you said, it could just be getting your hair done, or it could be watching your favorite show or something. Yes. For me, I love festivals. I love outside stuff. So now it's getting cold but anyways, I love festivals and all of that. So really for me, just going out, laying out on the grass with all the festivities going on, I feel like that's a part of my self-care, just getting out to those events. Sometimes it's a little harder. I told you I have a 1-year-old daughter, so getting her ready, getting her out there. But hey, she's coming along.
Yes.
She's definitely coming along. So hopefully she enjoys the outside
Get
and
her
everything.
outside and run around.
Oh, yeah. I let her run around. I'm like, wait, come back. So that's also the tiring part because I might have to chase after her. That we're speaking on Self-Care Awareness Month. What is something, I guess, in the self-care realm or something that people sort of overlook when it comes to self-care?
What do they themselves?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people are people pleasers, I should say. And so they're so busy consuming themselves and other people's lives and what other people want and what they want to do that they forget themselves. They forget to do those small things themselves. Like, for me, like, I have a child too. So I get it. My life is all about her.
Girl moms.
Yes, exactly. But then I still make time. I'll either go to the gym and she goes to the gym with me sometimes, and she'll sit there and like try to work out with me sometimes. Or I'll sit at home every night and I'll do a devotional, or I will write, because I write poetry too. So those are my moments. And some people forget, like, you don't have to spend every waking moment consuming yourself in someone else's life. Yeah. So I think that is a huge thing everybody overlooks.
That's true. You got to have your moment, literally, even with the children and all of that. Again, like you said, work earlier, you got to have your moment. And I know we spoke about a lot of times focus on children or teens, but still work with adults and older adults. Is there a sort of different way that those two sides of children and adults sort of look at self-care, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids are
probably what they do too. Yeah.
So kids are like, for them, self-care sometimes is like, oh, I'm watching YouTube, or I'm gonna play with my friends, or that kind of thing. I think the age range that I mean, teens are pretty good, but like the little ones kind of are still learning what that is. And so even when I'm doing sessions with the parents as well, with the kids, I have to explain it to them. Like, sometimes mommy and daddy need some time to go. Like, mommy might want to just be alone for a second to like read a book, or So I have to explain that to them. And I'm like, sometimes when you want to be alone and have that time to yourself to either watch YouTube or color or draw, whatever you want to do. So that's kids are different in that aspect of things. Like grown-ups who want to go watch the movies or like
right.
treat ourselves to a date or something.
Right. Whether it's a solo date or with their, partner or whoever. Yes. Well, that is amazing. I'm glad we touched on that a little bit, just to even see between the different groups and everything. Because I was wondering that. I'm like, how do kids sort of look at self-care, but compared to parents? Because like I said, I know how we might look at it and everything as well.
YouTube is not self-care. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm good on the YouTube right now. I'll watch me some Netflix. I'm cool.
Exactly.
YouTube.
Me too.
Yes.
I don't know what. My kid watches YouTube all the time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Girl.
Oh, yeah. They love that YouTube. But, hey, I'm not going to knock you. I'm not going to knock it, Now, as we continue to move forward, is there sometimes do sometimes people push away from the self-care, like, I don't know if it's for me, even though I think it might be for everybody, but is it sometimes harder to get people drawn into it?
Yes. So I say yes because I see people who are like, their life is so busy, so they don't find time. But it's like, we find time for things that we want to do. So if that's important to you, and it is important, because if you're a parent and you either a caretaker of someone else and working and all these things, like at some point you're going to have a burnout if you do not implement those self-care techniques.
Yeah.
And some people overlook that because they let life and everything else around them consume that. Mm-hmm. And then they get to like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I burned out? Have you done anything for yourself? So that's the question I ask most of the time. Like, have you had time for you?
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect question right there. Have you done anything for yourself? I think that's, the best way to look at Self-Care Awareness Month, but even past that. And again, just coming back to you being a licensed counselor, how can people reach out to you, be a part of your program? How can people do that?
My email, which is info@divine-life blueprint.net.
Okay, awesome. Just so people can connect with you and get some tips on their life, how to straighten out their life. I know one of the things that I saw is you help teens transition into that adulthood, because we know that can be a interesting time, and just again with both of those fields, the teens, the kids, and the adults. So what are some things that you're moving forward to in the future along with your profession?
Writing more books.
Oh,
yes, I'm working on a poetry book, and
I was gonna ask that. Are you looking at a poetry book since you write poetry?
I am, and then also I'm trying to get a self-esteem book for adults, because there's a lot for kids and teenagers, but nobody really thinks about the adults who go through self-esteem issues. So I'm looking at creating that as well, and then broadening my horizon with my business and getting that off the ground. So
yeah, awesome. Well, good luck on all of that coming forward to you with the books, and then also just with your business as well. As we sort of wrap it up, is there anything that you would want people to know in the health field, profession, the mental health field? Like, hey, this is what you need to know, or even surrounding self-care.
Let me see. Well, the people in the healthcare, please take care of yourself. I know out there and being in the health field is difficult sometimes, and it's time consuming. So please make sure you take time for yourself. And then anyone that's out there that going through any mental health issues, or that is going through any issues, just know, hang in there. You're strong. Just make sure to seek help. You're not weak if you seek help. And take care of yourself.
I think that's I'm glad you said about, seek help, because a lot of the times I think even though it's coming around more, a lot of times, people kind of shy away from it and don't want to go get the help and things. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Jessica. And I also want to say thank you so much for coming in, speaking on these topics, and also speaking more on the self-care awareness month that we have here. Anything?
For me?
Yes. Thank you. Well, that's Jessica Wiley for you all, healthcare professional here in the CSRA. Remember, she has a book. Let's see that book again. She has a book all about her life, and hopefully there'll be some gems in there that'll help you also with some things going on in yours. Okay, we all need some time to ourselves, and we'll all make it through day by day. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.